Hi everyone, it's Teenuja from Veganlovlie. Well, today's recipe is a very popular Mauritian dish, which is the Mauritian stew, and we locally call it la daube. It's made with various ingredients, various vegetables, and this dish originally comes from the French daube provençale, and we have our own version of this dish in Mauritius, where we make a tomato-based sauce with herbs and spices. So it's different from the French version where they add wine in the sauce. And today I'm going to be making this dish with some fresh Borlotti beans. But if you don't have any fresh ones, you can use canned beans or dried beans that's already been cooked or boiled. So other ingredients that I'm going to be adding are butternut squash and potatoes. So let's get started. Fresh beans are in season for a short time only. So if you're lucky enough to find them at your produce market, you'd do right to grab a few handfuls. Fresh beans have a much more vibrant taste than the dried or canned versions, but you can certainly use beans that have been boiled from dried or canned ones in this recipe. I am only using about half of a butternut squash with the skin on. Once cooked, it becomes soft and creamy, and in fact, keeping the skin on prevents the squash from disintegrating into the sauce, as butternut squash is really quite delicate. White or red potatoes are the preferred choice in this stew. Cut them into bite-sized cubes. Chop one of the potatoes into much smaller pieces. These will cook faster and disintegrate to make a thicker sauce. I am adding a small piece of onion as per my tolerance, but you can add more to your taste if you like. I am not using any garlic for myself in this recipe, but you can certainly add 2 cloves of garlic finely chopped or minced. Adjust the amount of chili to your taste. You can leave them whole or de-seed them for less heat. Start by frying the potatoes in about 1 tablespoon of oil on medium-high heat. A cast iron pan is my preferred choice for this, as it gives a nice lightly charred coating to the potatoes, and this adds a lot of flavor to the sauce. But you can just use a non-stick pan if you don't have a cast iron one. Once the potatoes pick up a golden brown coating and they are cooked up to 75%, remove them from the pan. Then do the same for the butternut squash, but cook them just halfway through. Now let's make the sauce. In a deep pan, add 1 tablespoon of coconut or vegetable oil. Next, add in the onions and garlic if you're using them. Then add the minced ginger. Let this cook for about 1 minute, then add in the spices. The garam masala, sweet paprika and cumin. Roast the spices for a couple of minutes, then add in the chopped tomatoes followed by the curry leaves. If you can't find curry leaves, you can use 1 to 2 bay leaves, but curry leaves are what give the Mauritian stew its distinctive taste. Add the potato that has been chopped into small pieces. Then add the thyme, the chilies, and about 1.5 cup of water, followed by the cinnamon stick. Next, add the fresh beans. Cover and simmer on medium heat for 35 to 40 minutes or until the beans are soft. If you're using pre-cooked beans, add them in, followed by the pre-cooked potatoes and butternut squash all at the same time. Once potatoes and squash are added, add a little water and some salt to taste. Stir and then cover and simmer for another 10 minutes until potatoes are cooked. Add the frozen green peas and cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. Then garnish with the coriander leaves or cilantro and turn off the heat. This delicious stew is now ready to serve. You can enjoy it over rice or with some fresh French baguette. Bon appétit! Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you've liked the recipe and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye and see you soon!